someone from UK sent me a question. She says she's a freelancer, non-resident, single member LLC owner with US income. Do I need to get an ITIN, and what forms am I required to file? This is a good question. I'm not sure where she's freelancing from, but I'm going to guess maybe it's Upwork or maybe Fiverr or any of these freelance platforms. Now, if that is the case, and this person is sitting in the UK to do the freelancing, then that person does not have US source income. And all the services she's providing as a freelancer is not taxable in the US, at least on the federal level. And so this person does not need to file an income tax. And then she's also said US income. So I'm not sure whether she's saying that her freelancer income is US source income, which we know it's not US source income. So sometimes the way when you are contacting a CPA or a tax advisor, the way you structure your questions could also cause confusion, because you have already concluded that you have US income. But when we probably go into the fact, you may not have US income. You may have a foreign source income, maybe a UK source income, but not US income. And then she asks whether she needs to get an ITIN. An ITIN is only needed if you have a tax return filing obligation. If you don't have a tax return filing obligation, ITIN is not needed. So you don't have to get an ITIN if there's no taxes to file. Now, sometimes I get a lot of people come to me, they form LLCs and they need ITIN to open a bank account or PayPal account or Stripe account. Those kind of requests are generally not a valid reason to get an ITIN. If the certified acceptance agent that's doing the ITIN is very strict, they may not help you, because the IRS, in its rules and regulation and the guidance around ITIN, opening a bank account just for the mere purpose of opening a merchant or bank account is not one of the reasons. I mean, there's an exception for bank account, which is if you have an interest-bearing savings account, right? But then with that exception, you need to get a letterhead from the bank itself saying that Peninsula from the UK want to open a savings account that will be generating interest. And so that interest needs to report it to the IRS. And therefore, we need an ITIN for Peninsula. And that will work. But the banks will have to give you a letter with their letterhead on it, and then you attach it to your W-7 and send it to the IRS. In my 15 years of practice, I have not seen the banks do that. They usually don't go to that personalized process to give you the letterhead. So, but if you get a bank to give it to you, that's great. That's really good. But I have never seen a bank want to take that risk and give you that letter, because they don't know what you're going to do with it. Anyway, so what forms am I required to file? So assuming you have a single member LLC, then you will file the Proforma 1120 and the 5472. And then I have some series of YouTube videos where I talk about the compliance checklist. So number one on your list should be the Proforma 1120 and the 5472. Number two, you should be making sure that wherever you formed your LLC, you are renewing the LLC. You're filing an annual report to renew the LLC, because if you do not do that, the LLC could go inactive. And then the third one is you have to pay your registered agent. Your registered agent, because you are not located in the state where the LLC is formed, you need someone who is located in there to receive certain important documents. If someone wants to sue you or the government wants to send you certain important document, they will first look for your registered agent and send it to them. So it's always important that you have a registered agent and that you're paying them on time. If you do not pay your registered agent on time, sometimes some of them are very good in keeping track on who is paying and who is not paying, and they would resign. They will send some forms to the state and resign, and then your LLC becomes either inactive or the state administratively dissolve it. So it's always important you're keeping track of those three checklists that we talked about. I have several videos. I have covered separate states. I've covered Wyoming, Delaware, New Mexico, New York, Nevada, Alaska. Very soon I'll be covering Kentucky. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should always try and subscribe so we can give you new updates as they come in.